Dear assistants, I'm honored to be invited among us today to present the work recently conducted in CNES in the hope of limiting foodborne outbreak due to low compliance with basic hygiene rules. Before, I would like to say that foodborne outbreak remains serious public health problems with more than 600 million cases annually reported and 420,000 deaths in worldwide. In DMO regions, annually we report 100 million cases and 37,000 deaths. In Morocco, this requires compulsory reporting and epidemiological survey to help in risk of epidemic. Donc, on 10 June 2017, the prefectural epidemiology of MCNES was informed by the presence of grouped cases who feel ill with same symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal cramping. So the objective of this study is to confirm the outbreak, to assess the extent of the epidemic, to determine its origin, and to enforce preventive measures to avoid future poisoning. So we performed a retrospective cohort study among the 15 guests of the family dinner to identify risk factors associated with disintoxication. Association between assumed risk factor and the intoxication was estimated using relative risk and its 95% confidence interval. Percentage as well as p-value was determined using Fisher exact test. Environmental and bacteriological investigation was done. In this study, a case is defined as any person who presenting the following symptom after the family dinner on 10th June, vomiting and or diarrhea. Donc, among the 15 guests of the family dinner, 9 cases feel ill with an attack rate of 60%. The mean age was 39 years and with a sex ratio male-female 0.28. The mean incubation period was 3 hours. The epidemic curve showed that the cases began to occur on 10th June at 2 o'clock and the peaked in the same day at 2:30 a.m. and the last case was reported in the same day at noon. The predominant symptoms was vomiting, representing 9 cases, followed by dizziness, representing 9 cases, diarrhea, representing 4 cases, abdominal cramp with 4 cases, and headache with 4 cases. The B analysis showed that the only tagine of chicken was associated with disintoxication, with a p-value 0.04. All other items were not associated. Were not statistically significant. The interview conducted with the cook showed that the hands were not washed with the soap, and the chicken was thawed for 7 hours at room temperature. No skin infection was found. After cooking, the chicken has remained more than 12 hours at room temperature. The chicken has prepared at noon and consumed at midnight. Now in that, it was in summer season when temperature exceeded 30 degrees Celsius. Donc for microbiological investigation, all bacterial culture of food and the patient stool sample for 3 cases were negative. In discussion, Staphylococcus aureus, poisoning, particularly Staphylococcus aureus, is one of the major cases of foodborne intoxication in worldwide. They are caused by the enterotoxin produced by this bacteria. This bacteria is essentially present in food rich on protein, like meat, eggs, and ice cream. And this enterotoxin causes rapid onset, like vomiting, abdominal cramping, and diarrhea. Depending on the immunity of the individual and the amount of the enterotoxin ingested, the average incubation period is 3 hours, with a minimum incubation of 30 minutes and a maximum incubation of 8 hours. In this study, all the clinical symptoms and the mean incubation period was in favor of foodborne intoxication due to enterotoxin produced by Staphylococcus aureus. However, all the culture were negative, which could be explained by antibiotic consumption. Donc, defrosting the chicken for 7 hours without respecting the cool chain could be explained the proliferation of Staphylococcus aureus and the production of enterotoxin. Our study has some limitation, like low number of cases for which the stool sample was performed, for 3 cases, No sample was performed for the cook, lack of toxicology and biological confirmation at the regional level, and antibiotic prescription before the achievement stool samples. In conclusion, clinical symptoms and period of incubation suggest that the outbreak is potentially due to the enterotoxin produced by Staphylococcus aureus. Donc, after this survive, some recommendations made it possible, like raising public awareness on the importance of respecting the cold chain and basic hygiene rules, educate the clinician to the importance of biological confirmation before antibiotic prescription, and development of toxicology confirmation at the regional level. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Touria. Questions? Dr. Begic.
Thank you. Thank you, Touria. Thank you very much for the presentation. Maybe I missed it, but I would like to know, based on what have you incriminated Staphylococcus aureus as the cause of this outbreak? Because no microbiological confirmation you received, and also if we go back and look at the clinical presentation of the cases, it seems like the Kaplan criteria for norovirus have been fulfilled, and there is a vast range of other causative agents that could have been involved. I mean, maybe I missed something. I would like just to get more information about this.
D'accord. Donc we have, when you see the literature, we see, when you see the literature, we see then the clinical symptoms and the incubation period is in favor of enterotoxin produced by Staphylococcus aureus.
Yes, it is in favor, definitely, but not confirming.
It's potentially due.
I agree on that, but why have you excluded so many other causative agents?
Nada, qu'est-ce qu'il a dit, s'il te plaît? Oui, parce que quand on regarde la littérature, quand on regarde la littérature, c'est essentiellement donc la durée d'incubation et tout ce qui va avec, et les signes cliniques également, sont en faveur de Staphylococcus aureus, entérotoxine produite par Staphylococcus aureus.
So based on her explanation, so she's incriminating Staphylococcus aureus because of the presentations and because also of the incubation period, and this based on the literature that she reviewed.
Thank you.
Okay, it was the suggestion just not to say that it is confirmed, just that it is one of the most probably,
Potentially due, that it's not confirmed.
But you also need to mention the others. Okay, thanks. Another questions? Nana, yeah?
Thank you very much for your investigation and presentation. I'm interested on, I have one question, that when antibiotics was given to patients, because your recommendations have that education of physicians, it means that the antibiotics was given after hospitalization to these patients, before there was taken samples, or it was, or antibiotics were taken before hospitalization.
Qu'est-ce qu'elle a dit? Est-ce qu'il a été consommé avant?
Question is, recommendation, I can see that she had recommendation, education of physicians that should not be given antibiotics before taking samples. And I'm interested when these antibiotics were given, before hospitalization or after hospitalization by physicians?
After hospitalization.
It was given by physicians and then was taken. Yeah. Okay, because I believe during your presentation, I believe that antibiotics was taken at home before hospitalization. Okay, thank you very much. And because of this, you have this recommendation, yes? The second recommendation.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.